humble and proud that her son is a man. Like every mother and wife in the world, I hate and dread and fear war with all my heart. But when my son entered the army and later came here to Fort Bragg, all of it was with my full blessing. I had brought him up to believe in a way of life, not only freedom and democracy, but memories of things at our home and in our town, and above all, the difference between right and wrong. I tried to give him something that he would love enough to preserve it for himself and others against whatever danger might threaten from whatever quarter. And now, in these times, the danger to our country seems very clear. To hope for peace means nothing if we do not have men who have the courage and the strength to fight for it. I was glad that my son was here in training, becoming strong for his own sake and for the sake of America. I watched the lowering of the flag, a ceremony both simple and moving. I had one more day to spend here. I was looking forward to it. On the last day, my son was scheduled to make a jump from a plane. An MP gave me very explicit directions on how to get to a good vantage point for watching the jump. Incidentally, may I say that throughout my visit, every soldier to whom I spoke was courteous and helpful and cheerful. I'm pleased to tell you of this because I know that sometimes our servicemen are criticized harshly on these matters. And I, for one, would like to report how favorably I was impressed. I was impressed with the size of Fort Bragg. I learned that an army post is much more than a cluster of barracks and administration buildings. I drove for miles and miles past one training area after another. I suppose there are some mothers who would not want to see their sons jump from a plane. I think I am one of those. I'm afraid. And yet, I would not miss the experience. I tried to think of him in the plane, preparing for the jump. I knew, he had told me, that very few men can look forward to a jump without fear. Butterflies in the stomach, or just plain fear in the mind. Fear that at the last moment is overcome. This capacity to conquer fear, this is what my son now has. And because he has this, I am grateful. I tried to pick out my son from those tiny specks in the sky. It was no use. I prayed for the safe landings of all of these men, wherever they might make them. I came to Fort Bragg rarely to see my son, but I saw much more. I saw all those who were side by side with him, other sons of other mothers. I wish that all of them could see what I have seen, not only their individual sons, but all of our sons together proud of being together, none of them wanting war, but all of them ready to fight for the kind of life we mothers have taught them to believe in. I saw them marching together gallantly, and I'm grateful that our safety and our future is in their good, strong hands.
We are proud to have presented this letter, which shows not only the deep affection of a mother for her son, but a fine understanding of the role her son must play in the defense of his country. Now, this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us next week for another look at the big picture, the United States Army in action.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Signal Corps Pictorial Center. Presented by the U.S. Army in cooperation with this station. You can be an important part of the big picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.